What's up, y'all? I'm out here at the range, as you can see. Been doing some interesting testing. The sun and clouds is fighting each other out here for the last hour or so, trying to decide who's first in line. So with this wind, believe it or not, it's a little bit chilly. I think it was 39 when I was first setting up all my stuff. It's definitely warmed up, but again, that wind's a little bit chilly. Nothing I can't handle though to get this one done, and it should be another really interesting 40 Smith & Wesson test. So we got the good old jelly contraption set up with the chronos and 2 blocks of gel out here. Now I've done a couple of tests so far, so this far block is pretty filled up. I'll leave some links above if y'all hadn't seen that one. Now the first one's completely clear except for one little old sneaky peek back here in the back. You always got one that wants to go into this second block and try to mess up the test, but it's just a little tiny old pencil line, so I shouldn't have any trouble avoiding that. Of course, as you can see, I'm staying with my heavy clothing barrier that's got the layer of denim, fleece, and 2 layers of cotton t-shirt. And what we got for this one is basically one that really needs no introduction. As soon as you see that black and gold box, you know that most of the time you're working with something pretty good. We got the Speer Gold Dot here in 40 Smith & Wesson, 165 grain. Now, no velocity on the box here. I didn't even look on their site. It may be listed there, but we'll find out for sure. As you can see, there's your cartridge, nice nickel plating on it, and that unmistakable gold dot projectile. I was really surprised when I got to looking. I had never even tested these. I didn't even have any of them and didn't even realize it till I got these at a really good deal at my local shop. Y'all probably seen in my last ammo hunt video. And speaking of that, some of y'all almost got me in some hot water by going up in there wanting a bunch of this stuff for that deal that they gave it to me for. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, anybody's more entitled to a better deal than anybody else, but you know, some of these stuff that I get is a great deal because I do a whole lot of business with them in there. And a lot of times that's why I don't even give y'all the cost of stuff, because it may be different than what I'm giving. And you know, some people will say, well, that ain't right, but I mean, I think everybody can agree that when you do a whole lot of business with someplace, a deal here and there is something that, you know, I sure don't feel bad about. But anyway, it wasn't really a huge deal. I just want to give some of y'all a hard time. Now, the tools we're going to be running these out of, 2 different barrel lengths. I've got a couple of Glocks here. For the shorty, I've got the Glock 27 that's got basically a 3.5-inch barrel, and then I've got the Glock 22 here that's got pretty much a 4.5-inch barrel. So if you're running the 23, you can kind of split the difference here as far as velocity and, you know, kind of performance in the gel and see what you'd be looking at there. But enough rambling on about it. I'm hoping these things will do some more talking for themselves with some really good performance in the gel. But let's get this stuff set up and let's see if they can. All right, let's find out how fast these things are moving, y'all. We're gonna do a 5-round average from each barrel length, starting with this Glock 27 first. Again, like I always mention, if you're not familiar with these videos and haven't watched them before, this lab radar is gonna give you multiple velocity readings. Your large number is gonna be the muzzle, then the 5 additional ones are set for 3 yards, which is where the gel is, and then I've got 10, 15, 25, and 50, which you should get the velocity readings from. Let's see what we got here, y'all, through the 27 shorty here. 1,093, 1,084, 1,088, 1,079, and 1,074, so not too terrible for 165 out of this shorty. One thing I have to say about this G27 is it's got some trigger slap to it, especially when it gets cold out here, but let's check out that average. All right, so our 5-round average there was 1,083. We had an extreme spread of 20 and a standard deviation of 7.7, so right at 1,100 with a 165 grain projectile out of that 3.5-inch barrel. I don't think that's too shabby, and that should be enough to give us some good performance. Let's swap over to the 22 and see what it does. All right, let's see what this extra inch of barrel does for us, y'all. We'll do 5 rounds on this also. 1135, 1154, 1146, 1126, and 1144, so decent little amount faster. Let's check that average. All right, so that time with the 4.5-inch barrel, we had an average of 1,141 feet per second, an extreme spread of 28, and a standard deviation of 10.7. So 1141 on this, and if you remember on that 27, it was 1,083, so you're talking about 58 feet per second faster with the extra inch of barrel. So 58 feet per second, what's that, around 5% or so, so not a big difference. Either way, way, I feel pretty confident that both of these are going to do really good in the gel. But let's get this stuff reset, and y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's golden oldie jelly time. We'll put one round from each barrel into the gel, starting with this G27 first. Again, I expect good things from both of these. It's just the way it is. Gold Dot has that reputation. I can't even remember of one failing. There may have been one, but I can't remember it. Let's see what we get here. All right, that was actually perfect. Hopefully that thing didn't go out. It shouldn't have. Let's go see what I got. All right, no surprise, that's looking absolutely fantastic down there. Let's see what this G22 does for it. Should be more of the same. Ah, that was awful low. Let me go see if that'll work. All right, let's take a look at what we got down here. Great performance from both of these. Really didn't expect anything less. On the top here, that's the G27. As you can see, comes in here, very evident that you got immediate expansion. It didn't care anything about that cloth. You can see it just dumped it right on out of the way, carried some of the fleece even out here, dumping it. Nice spiral looking action through here, through the first block, passes into this second block, and you've got a little bit of forward momentum and then some rebound. Looks like you got about an inch, maybe an inch and a half into this second block. And then down here on the bottom, that's our G27. Basically more of the same here, comes in, immediate expansion again. Now you'll notice just by eye, you can tell that this disruption looks smaller than the G27, and in the gel it is. And that's because I'm sure we're gonna find that this 27 or this 22 expanded more, and that's why you got that smaller disruption track. Now I know I'm gonna get some comments down or some questions down in the comments because I said that, because I've gotten it before, and it's just it's the fact. It's going to peel those pedals and all back against the base tighter, so you don't have as big of a projectile rolling through here as you did with that 27. I'd be willing to bet that's going to be the case when we do some measuring on it. But that being said, another point I feel like I need to make is this disruption in the gel is really, really great. It's nice to look at, and it does give you a very good indication of what kind of stuff you can expect going on. But by no means is this a one-to-one representation of what you might see in an actual target. This gives you a very, very good representation, but just because this disruption might look an eighth of an inch, even a quarter of an inch bigger as far as the diameter, that really doesn't mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. But anyway, I know most of y'all realize that, but I get that question a lot too. So anyway, nice disruption here from this 22, keeps on trucking through the entire first block again, and it's got basically the same exact penetration. Maybe if it's a 1/16 of a quarter of an inch difference maybe between them. I don't even think it's a quarter of an inch, but I can already tell you right now from just looking, it is definitely a case of this 22 expanding more, a little more than that 27 did. So let's get this measurement and see what we are working with here. So the one from the 27, forward momentum exactly 17.5 inches. And then the one down there on the bottom from the 22, it's actually about an eighth short of that one, but now it is resting on the bottom, so you may have lost an eighth or maybe even a quarter of an inch of forward momentum, but I highly doubt you lost much at all. And then here's your closer look again on the top, the 27, the bottom, the 22. So up close, you can see, if I put them both in frame, you can definitely see there's a difference as far as that disruption. If we follow them through here, again, 27 on the top, follow it on through into that second block, and you can see where that forward momentum and then a little bit of rebound. Nice expansion on that one, but then if we go down here, you can obviously tell, you can see that those pedals are peeled back more towards the base. So I can tell you right now that 27 is going to have a bigger measurement than that 22 does. But again, we'll follow the 22 back one time. Really, really nice performance from both of these. All right, let's check out these projectiles, y'all. Absolutely beautiful looking expansion on these things. This one right here was from the G22. This one's from the 27. So as you can see what I was saying, definitely more expansion on this 22. And that's why you'll notice if you see the angles of those pedals, they're almost straight out. Whereas this 22, they're all curved and folded back against the base. So that's going to be a larger area, a larger measurement right there. So it just stands to reason that you're going to have a bigger looking disruption in the gel. But again, both of these things look absolutely fantastic. Very, very nice expansion, and it carried all that lead with it being bonded like they are. So let's check them and see if we lost any weight. I would be willing to say that we didn't lose anything. If anything at all, it'll be a crumb. They started at 165. This G27 is at 164.8, and then the G22 here is 164.6. So again, they may have lost a little crumb. That's probably just manufacturing tolerances, because one of the main reasons people absolutely love these projectiles, including myself, is that really, really nice weight retention. So let's measure them up and see what we got there. We'll start with this 22 first. It's probably gonna be really, really even. You got 653, 650, and 651. So very nice, very even symmetrical expansion on that one there. And then this one here from the 27, we'll go across the shorter way first. You got 657 there, and then if we check out this way where they're basically sticking straight out, you got 685. So that's what I was saying, that larger area right there across the diameter, that's what gave you the larger looking disruption in the gel. But from both of these, absolutely beautiful expansion. And there you go, y'all, the Speer Gold Dot in 40 Smith & Wesson. No surprises at all here. I expected these things to perform absolutely fantastic, and that's just exactly what they did. Nice energy, very nice expansion, very nice penetration. Really, it's hard to ask for more than this right here out of a defensive round. All right, y'all, that right there is a wrap for another fantastic 40 test. Absolutely textbook performance from these things out here, out of both barrel lengths, which is very, very nice to be able to find a round that performs very, very well through your short barrels and your long barrels. But was there really any question what we were going to see out here today? You got 40 Smith & Wesson, which is a fantastic caliber. It's very hard to get a bad round in 40 Smith & Wesson, and then top it off with the Gold Dots, and you're looking at a very, very capable combination. So as hard as it is to believe, I don't have a single complaint about either one of these out here today. The only complaint I have about Gold Dots, period, is the fact that the other manufacturers can't seem to get them anymore to load their stuff with. But let me know what y'all think about the performance from these out here today. Any of y'all out there carry Gold Dots? If you do, what caliber do you carry it in? Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. If you did enjoy the video, as always, take a second if you would and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you got them notifications turned on so you get notified when I upload stuff. Once again, a reminder, if you're doing some shopping, check out those affiliate links I got in the video description. I've got most of the major places down there now, so check those things out. And anything you buy after going through those links, I get a kickback from them towards the channel, so I really do appreciate that. A big thanks again to all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all out there for supporting the channel like y'all do. I've had a lot of fun out here today. I think I got time for one more, so stay on the lookout for that. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.